another important story that we have at this point in time, and this is about the RBI policy. RBI Governor Shaktikanta, who in the past has been quite vocal on the issue of crypto investments in India, once again cautioned the investors. Without mincing words, he said, in fact, he gave a clear message to the investors that invest at your own risk. And this message specifically was for crypto investors in India. He also said it has no underlying, it's not even a tulip, referring to the Dutch tulip bulb market bubble in the 17th century when the contract prices for some tulip bulbs reached extraordinarily high levels and then dramatically collapsed in February 1637. Black Swan author Nicholas Taleb has also called Bitcoin a tulip bubble without aesthetics and disguised as a currency. Now, this statement, viewers, by the RBI governor comes 9 days after Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharam removed uncertainty by introducing 30% tax on gains from virtual digital assets like cryptocurrencies in India. Though it was made clear that this should not mean that government is legalizing crypto. But the sense was that government is inclined towards regulation instead of a blanket ban. But now, this warning by the RBI governor has brought back the confusion. So what is the plan? What should we make of the mixed signals we are getting from Mint Street and North Block? Before we get these answers, let's hear what the RBI governor had to say today.
मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं संक्षिप्त में, जो इन्वेस्टर्स क्रिप्टो करेंसी में इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं उनको ये माइंड में रखना चाहिए कि जो भी वो इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं वो उनके खुद के रिस्क पे कर रहे हैं. दे आर इन्वेस्टिंग एट देयर ओन रिस्क. उनको ये भी माइंड में रखना चाहिए कि ये जो क्रिप्टो करेंसी है इसका कोई अंडरलाइंग नहीं है, नॉट इवन अ ट्यूलिप.
And joining us on the broadcast this evening is Mohandas Pai, Chairman RN Capitals, Dr. Aruna Sharma, Member Digitization Committee RVL. We have Satvik Vishwanath, Co-founder and CEO, Unocoin, Ajay Roti, partner Dhruva Advisors, also joining us on the broadcast this evening. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us here on Urban Debate on Mirror Now. Dr. Aruna Sharma, former member, Digitization Committee, RBI. I want to begin the discussion with you because we've discussed this issue on 1st of February as well when the budget announcement came, and we thought that probably, now there's some clarity on how India is looking at crypto world within the country, the domestic crypto market that we have. But what do you make of the statement that has come from RBI governor today? Do you also see that as a warning?
Let me put it this way, there is absolutely should not be taken as a confusion, but it is two different perspectives. What RBI governor has very clearly said, that invest at your own risk, is something which the crypto has also been advised in the Advertising Standard Council of India, that you must tell the investors that it is not something, it is a speculative, and therefore, the talk has been to put crypto as an asset. So in the sense, invest at your own risk is absolutely right. Even crypto doesn't claim so. Then it is been saying that assets have no underlying whatsoever, not even a tulip. That is the RBI's perspective, because if you look at the chain analysis index, I would like to point it out to you, which has analyzed not on the trading, but the ordinary people who focus on the use case related to the transactions of the individual savings. And there India is ranking literally among the top 3 with Vietnam and Pakistan. So if you look at it, why we are number 3 is because the turn to cryptocurrency, as per that analysis, is to preserve their savings in the face of currency devaluation, as well as send and receive remittances and carry out their businesses. So if you look at it from that point of view, the crypto is becoming more like an asset class, and there is no confusion, because what RBI governor has very clearly said is, it is just telling the people what it is, and therefore anybody investing into it should know this very clearly. This is the status of the crypto. And then, of course, in the budget session, it has been mentioned that it will be an asset.
Okay, two different perspectives, but Mohandas Pai, I think it is adding to the confusion in the crypto, industry that we are seeing already, isn't it?
No, I don't know what is the confusion. Anybody who has bought crypto earlier, being a resident of India, knows that if you make a profit, you have to pay tax on that as an asset. The law is very clear. The income tax law is very clear. Because you are a resident of this country, your global taxation is global income is subject to tax, and you have made a gain. Now that has been the law. Now in the budget, the finance minister has clarified to say you have to pay 30%, which is possibly higher than the long-term capital gains you would have paid if not for that. And she has also said no carry forward of losses to plug all loopholes. So you make profits, you pay tax, you make a loss, that is your own headache. So I think she has been very smart to do that. Now, what the RBI governor has said is what the RBI governor should always tell people in this country, that this is not a currency, will never be a currency. Don't be under the mistaken impression this will never be a currency. You can use it for exchanging in this country. It has no legal
But sir,
backing.
even if we consider crypto as an asset in the country, Mr. Mohandas Pai, even if we consider crypto as an asset in the country, going by the kind of indication we are getting from the finance minister, we don't see these kind of statements coming for other asset classes that we have already in the country from RBI specifically.
Look. What did the RBI governor say? There's no asset backing. There's no asset backing. It's issued by all and sundry. There's a lot of fraud in the system. So he's saying, be careful. That's all. He's only making the point very clear. So I don't think he's saying anything unnecessary. He said the right thing to warn the ordinary people of this country is extremely volatile, extremely speculative. There is no backing behind it. Now, you and I can go issue a coin and sell it as Kipso. You know that? You and I can do it. Anybody can do it. I mean, it's a free-for-all. You can see the number of coins, everything is happening. It's just warning people, that's all. Even in India, many of this media and the news items are pumping up the asset. So he's warning people, invest at your own peril. I think he's doing a good job. That's what should be said.
So, don't you think, Mr. Ajay Roti, now it is time that the government should come out with some kind of clarity on how it is really looking at crypto investment across the country?
Yes, it is time, and that is under works. But one thing that you have to remember is this has not created any confusion today. It's not something that Shaktikanta Das himself has said it for the first time or whatever. You need to remember that RBI has been expressing concerns about crypto from 2013. It's not even a few months or whatever. From 2013 is the first time they issued a note to say that people who are investing have to be careful, etc. And then in 19 they effectively banned it by not permitting banks to undertake these transactions, etc. So RBI has not said anything new today. There are 2 points he makes. One is the whole thing on risk and the risk being with the investor. And the second and equally important point that he made today is that this also has an impact on the stability and macroeconomics of the country. And therefore, because RBI cannot regulate it, there's a concern. And both of these are being voiced by RBI for a long time now.
Once again, Dr. Aruna, do you think it's a signal that is going from RBI to North Block, from Mint Street to North Block, that, be extremely cautious when it comes to crypto investments? Because this time, I know that, in the past as well, Mr. Shaktikanta Das, as the RBI governor, has been quite vocal on this particular issue. But, this time he said that there's no underlying, not even a tulip. So he's referring to a financial bubble that happened in 17th century, and that is like a classic which is taught to students of economics as well every year.
Hey, let me tell you one thing, that it's not a signal, because the understanding is emerging now and evolving very, very clearly that there is no question of ban. Crypto asset, how it will be named, will come up in more clarity, as has been said by co-panelists, that it is time to come up with that clarity and come up with the regulation for it. It is also coming up very clear when it is saying not even a tulip or it is a bubble. Let me here explain that the crypto value does not come on the demand and supply. Crypto value comes on the innovations which are coming into it. You will be amazed to know the demand and supply, or the sale which happens, is only 17%. And the investment which is happening, which I mentioned before, is more as an asset class. So it's in their saving portfolio. That is how the people are putting the money. So it's a caution, one way to the investor. And second way, what you are hinting at is to the North Block that it does not have underlining whatsoever is very clear. And therefore in India, it has not been given a currency status. It has been made very, very clear. It is not going to be a currency. It will be an asset. What we have been arguing, if you recollect right from the beginning, to not to call it a cryptocurrency, but a crypto. And RBI, the amendment will be able to bring it to allow it to come up with a digital currency, which is an entirely different product. Right. This has got nothing to do with the way crypto
Well,
functions.
absolutely. RBI's digital currency will be very different. I think there's enough clarity now on that one with the announcement specifically that came during the budget. But Satvik Vishwanath, how do you see the kind of statement that has come from the RBI governor today versus what the finance minister had to say on 1st of February during her budget announcement?
Yeah, I think these two are completely different things. In the budget, it's more about how the government makes money and how the government spends that money. So till now, I mean, till 2022, the year that is ending next month, people used to pay their income tax on the incomes that they have got from the cryptos using their slabs or maybe declaring it as income from other sources. But however, now the new rule will be that irrespective of what other incomes are or how much the income is, they just want straight away 30% tax. And just because they wanted this 30% tax, they have created a new categorization, and that's pretty much it. That definitely does not talk about the legalization of the cryptocurrencies for India. And the budget touch, I mean, budget speech, we cannot expect such kind of regulations to be in place. It's just about money going in and coming out. But on the other side, whatever has happened today, there is definitely again nothing new at all. Government have continued to, I mean, RBI has continued to caution the crypto investors, the various risks, be it the price risk, like which is market risk, and then security risks and regulatory risks. So they are just reiterating it again today as well. And it is their responsibility to do that because when some of the people are calling cryptocurrencies as currencies for India and such, it's important for them to give this clarification and again, and that is what they have done. So I don't see any status quo changing as far as the regulations are concerned, either due to the budget speech on February 1st or due to whatever happened today from RBI Governor on February 10th. So it's just the same status quo continued to be there, just that the income tax slabs are a little different and we just have to calculate it that way. That's pretty much it.
Okay, so it's a warning for the investors, be cautious, but it should not really be seen as a signal that, maybe RBI wants this private crypto market to not flourish or wants it to be banned. Mr. Mohandas, going by, what you all have said and the kind of statements that we are getting and the kind of investment that's happening in the crypto market in India, don't you think the government should now expedite the process and bring its policy on crypto soon?
Well, my view is, look, it's a very complex structure. People all around the world are still not very sure what it is. I don't see many countries coming out with regulations, but I think they are talking about it. Hopefully they'll come out with something. See, the important thing is very simple. People are taking LRS, investing outside. There are crypto exchanges in India where for rupees you can buy, and maybe the rupees of the exchange doesn't go out. There are people who buy, people who sell, and settlement happen in India. It's perfectly legal, I guess. And you're making profits. The government has to recognize the reality and say, what is this? So they may come with regulations to say, is an asset class, and if you make a profit, you pay 3%, you make a loss, no loss, you go speculate, do what you want. And to me, that's fine. But how do you define an asset class? What are the nuances? How do you regulate the exchange? There are many, many difficult things that they have to decide. I don't think anybody in the world has got clarity. See, in Singapore, they're letting it go to find its own pace. In the US, they're letting it go to find its own pace and the curiosity. And in the US, somebody investing $3-4 trillion is not very large. It may go up 1 trillion, 2 trillion. But in India, they're very cautious because many other countries are not accepted this. Hopefully, I think a lot of people are written about it. They got documents. They'll come out with some regulations and let the crypto exchanges do it. But let me say one thing. Investors have to be very, very careful because anybody can issue a coin. Anybody can list it. I mean, you can't prevent anybody and there's nothing behind that. We know that, right? So the very new thing for people and ordinary people who got less savings, if they want to raise, government can only warn them and say, we told you, but that is it. So I think something will happen. Let's wait and see.
Okay, something will happen. Let's wait and see. Dr. Aruna Sharma, I want to give you the last word now because, you know, we've been waiting for some kind of clarity on this particular issue. We all know it's quite complex, but, you know, with these kind of statements coming, and also there are investors who, you know, are investing as less as 500 rupees to about 5,000 rupees. So 500 to 5,000 is the ticket size that includes bulk of investors, at least 90% of the investors today. So don't you think the clarity is something that's the need of the hour and something should come out from the government side soon?
I couldn't agree more because it is very important. And this time I have been advising crypto exchanges also. They should use this time to form and discipline themselves, which I understand they have been now all doing a KYC, which was one of the apprehensions. They are also now in their advertisement, they have curtailed it so that they don't give false hopes to the investors. So that clarity will be coming. And if they come up with these kind of regulations, it will go. But meanwhile, the government should come up with a regulation very quickly. The taxation thing which has been declared in the budget is definitely too high. And immediately there has been a statement that details will be looked into. So in this is the 30% of the income tax provision is also now getting fine-tuned or reconsidered. So that is also happening. If you must have heard or read the statements of the officials related who are responsible for this kind of arrangements to be done. Because what will be the process of 1% TDS, how it will go, whether it will be on peer-to-peer, whether it will be on a transaction, whether it will be only when you encash it. So all these details are fine-tuned and it has to be combed. So actually, I will put it this way, that this evolution is coming quite well. The confusion of that being a currency, now it's settled. Ban or no ban, that issue also stands settled. The caution has to be there, and as early as possible, we come with the regulation. This is possible because in India, people are investing more and more into this, and not big companies have started investing, but it will happen now. Like Tesla invested in US or China, the same thing is going to happen in India when the industrial houses will also start investing it than the small players or small investors, which is happening today.
All right, so word of caution is coming, but clarity is what is really needed right now. I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for joining us here on Urban Debate this evening. Heading into another very, very short break, but there's lots lined up for you on the other side as well. Stay with us.